Man, one more of these and then we'll be at the big old 10.
The Big Ten. Woo
Yeah.
woo. Double
Welcome back
digits.
to Box of Topics because you never know what you're going to get.
Woo! Yay! Welcome to the podcast.
I'm enjoying these. These are nice.
These are nice. I hope you enjoy these as much as we do.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, these are great. I enjoy the topics, the
The
conversation, the
bonding
laughs.
time. Oh,
Yes.
my God, you know.
Everything you could wish for, all in one nice little box of topics.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so where you want to start with today?
Well, I just find it fun. I'm like wearing an Angry Bird shirt, and only at that moment I just think, right. I can also sound like the red Angry Bird if I wanted to. I did it on a whim too, and that's like where a lot of like my impressions come from. I'll like mock something or I'll do it like on a whim, and I'm like, oh crap, I didn't even know I could do that.
Huh.
Yeah, I know,
Well,
right?
as you done boast it all up. Now we gotta hear it.
Yeah, because I remember when it happened. Because one of my friends, I think he had like really big eyebrows or something like that, or he was talking about it, and on top of which, you know how black people are real infamous for being able to make anything an insult.
I don't think that's just black people, but go ahead, continue.
Yeah, but like for the most part, from my experience, like we're able to make anything into an
Oh
insult,
heck
no
yeah.
matter what it is. Like, be like, so man, if you don't shut your
Yes.
looking so I end up doing that. And I think the topic was Angry Birds. And I was like, getting on them and everything. We was like, so man, if you don't get your looking so out of here. It was like, what was that? I was like, I don't know. I
Just felt it. You
just
rolled
felt it and went ahead.
Oh, did you feel it in your jollies?
I guess, yeah.
Another movie phrase that is part of my vocabulary.
I
I
love the
love
Detective
saying that
Pikachu.
one. Yes.
And even though, I understand what you mean when you say you can only handle like Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool in small doses. Ryan Reynolds' Pikachu, on the other hand, I love
Really?
that. That was nice.
Oh yeah. The Pikachu. Oh, I love that. And
Yeah.
then another movie that he was in that I absolutely love was the Bodyguard's Bodyguard.
Oh.
Yeah, the Hitman's Bodyguard.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I loved him in that
I
one.
haven't watched that yet, but I need to.
And oh my God, famous phrase in that. I'm not sure if it's too much cocaine or not enough. I love that line in that movie. It is awesome.
What? Okay.
You haven't seen it yet, then I'm not gonna
No.
say no more. Oh my God, that movie is definitely one to watch. And then the second one, the Hitman's
The
wife's
wife's bodyguard.
bodyguard. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's how I go. Great movie. I love that. Both of them. Those are some that I could just watch. And then he's in R.I.P.D. too. I don't mind him in that movie either. So it's not him that I don't like because there's some actors out there where I just be like, you know what? Take a break. We
Understandable.
don't need to see you in nothing else. Take a break.
Yeah.
But him, he's cool. I've seen him in other movies where he's super cool. It's just Deadpool. Oh God, I can't. I
Yeah.
cannot.
Only in small doses. And I didn't understand.
Micro doses.
Yeah, I didn't understand what you were meaning at first until we saw the Deadpool Wolverine movie. Once I saw them Deadpools, I was like, you know what?
Uh, I get it.
I get it. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah,
Which
okay.
actually, the multiple Deadpools were more entertaining for me, where it took all the focus off of him, and it was more of them, and it was like, okay, I can kind of, but yeah, I think I watched that movie once, and I think that was enough.
Mm.
I was mad that I bought it. I really was. I was like, well, this is one I could have definitely waited for it to come out on because we got Disney Plus.
Hmm.
So I could have waited for it to come out on Disney Plus and watch it there and then just left it there.
Mm.
Because it's not no buyer's remorse. Once you buy a movie, that's it. It's yours
Yep.
for life.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
You know what? Now that also start this little fun topic. What is one of those items that you just fully regret buying? Like, if you could give it back, you would.
I was about to say my kids trying to be funny, but ah,
Somebody gonna take that out of context so quick.
oh Lord.
Local mother says she wishes she could give back her kid.
No, I paid for them. You know, you said, what did you buy? I mean, you honestly do. That hospital bill don't be no joke.
Plus all the other equipment like Huggies,
The maintenance fees, the yearly maintenance fees.
the formula fees.
That would be what you would like if you have a car. Everything that you put into the vehicle to keep it running to premium performance, that's called maintenance. So everything that you put into a kid to keep them
Maintenance
at peak is
fees.
maintenance fees. Yes. Oh, like you and the family bundling. Now I'm comparing my kids to vehicles.
See, I'm telling you, it's like it's an easy comparison. It makes sense.
Nah. I'm just being glib and smart, but so no. What did I buy that I regret buying? It's- uh no, it served its purpose at the time. No, I can't think of anything. I mean, it's been some vehicles that I bought, and shortly after I bought them, they broke down. Probably the Jeep. You know, I hate the money that got wasted. Or I was just thinking about that H3 that I bought, and then it got crashed. You know, stuff like that. But usually when I buy something, it's because I really, really, really want it. It don't be no, I just buy it on a whim, and then later I'll be like, ugh, dang, why did I get this? But no, I usually take my time. Sometimes I'll even like, especially with shoes and clothes, I'll put it in my shopping cart and then walk away from it, and then wait for a while, and then because you know the first time you see something, ooh,
Ooh.
right, and then if I walk away from it and then come back maybe a week later, and if I'm still like ooh,
Ooh.
then yeah, maybe I'll consider buying it then too. And then yeah, but no, usually I try to especially since I done broke myself out of a lot of my hoarder habits.
Mm.
Yeah, because now back when I was had my hoarder habits, oh yeah, it wasn't no thought process to
This
me.
item. This
Just
item.
buy it right then and there,
That item.
and
Ma'am, you
then
can't buy that. That item.
I get it all home. You know, I like Dollar Tree. Even when everything at Dollar Tree was $1, shit, I easily spent $150 in there.
They do need to change the name from Dollar Tree to a dollar and some change tree. I know it doesn't roll off the tongue as well, but at least it's more
At least
accurate.
it's more current and it's honest. Yeah, yeah. It do need to be dollar and some more tree or dollar and an extra tree.
$2 tree.
Man, they got away with that dollar and a quarter. See, if everybody would have stood up and protested, they would have brought it back down. But nope, people was just like, oh, screw it.
It's just
So,
a coin.
man.
But it
So
just adds up.
yes, and then eventually there's gonna be $1.50 tree. Then it's gonna be 175 tree. They already got stuff in there that's
175.
yeah, and then they got the Dollar Tree Plus
Yep.
area.
Or the $5.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the stuff that be up to
that's so
$5.
weird. Like you got places like Five Below where it's $5 or below, and then Dollar Tree saw that and was like, well, five above.
And Five Below ain't Five Below no more.
No,
They got
because
the
now
five. They got the
20 items.
Five Below and Beyond section.
Like you are not like Buzz Lightyear.
I swear, everything is more money, more money, more money. Everybody is getting more money, except for people who's working to earn money, and they the last ones to get more money. Everybody
You
else is
mean
getting
the
it though.
last ones to get more money? You mean they just don't get more money?
You
There's
know,
no increase in salary,
no
and then when there is, it's so
wages.
minute.
No. Salary and wages is two different things. There be increases in salary because salary is usually corporate workers, yellow, white collar, blue collar, all the different collars. Wages usually go to people who work hourly, and you don't see no increase in that.
Yep, you're right. So
Yeah.
yeah, in wages, yeah. And
Yes.
then even when there is an increase, it's such a minute one. It's like your boss be sitting there, oh my God, you're getting the, oh man, I know you're gonna love getting this increase. You have a 25-cent increase, and you be sitting there, yeah,
Here's the catch. Like the government will advocate for people for them to raise the minimum wage. And they'll say, yeah, minimum wage needs to go up. People can't afford this, that, and the other. And then they be like, nah, leave it where it's at. And then they'll raise it. Like minimum wage went up to, I believe it's up to $15 now. I haven't worked for minimum wage in a while, so I don't quote me. But I remember when they was protesting for it to go to up to 15. And when people be protesting, what they think is that corporations are going to play fair and leave the prices at where they are. So when you get 15 an hour, you'll be able to afford everything as is. And nope, they raise the minimum wage, they raise the price of food and everything as well. So it don't matter. They could raise minimum wage to $1 million. I guarantee you, if they raise minimum wage up to $1 million an hour, milk will be $200,000. I guarantee it.
well, let's see, yeah, that kind of, or at least like 500,000. So I was like, bro, my
Yeah.
whole paycheck, like, what is going on right
Yeah, they will never let you catch up.
now? Mm-mm.
You think you get ahead, they get two steps ahead, and they no. When I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Everybody know what that one is. But yeah, you ain't gonna never get ahead. They gonna always keep it within your. They gonna keep that carrot outside of your reach every time. Ah, you almost got it.
You gotta be quicker than that.
Gotta be.
On one hand, I actually do like that ad with the dude. What was that? It was a State Farm ad. Yeah, with a lady, she didn't have State Farm, but was trying to get money regardless, and it was just some
Yes.
guy on a fishing hook, and you gotta be quicker than that. Oh, you almost
Yeah,
had
the
it.
dollar, right?
Which, on one hand, that commercial's funny. On the other hand, if I'm in that scenario,
You know, take the old man down, end
take
up
his
with the.
fishing hook.
I
Yeah,
gonna say gonna end up with the dollar and his hat.
yep,
That hat was pretty cool. I don't
mm,
think I peeped that, and that little vest he had on.
yep.
Yeah, I look cute in both. Yeah, so yeah, I feel you. But yeah,
That'd be just like whenever like the whole thing of give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. I love how somebody took that, changed it around, and was like, "Some give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, then charge him for the fishing lessons, then take his fish." I'm like,
exactly.
yo,
That's corporate America all the way. Yep, that is corporate America all the way. Yep, take his fish and make him buy them back from you.
like
Yep.
and for the fishing lessons, yeah, all
Yep,
that stuff.
that is corporate America all the way. Yes, take the little guy and crush him. That's yeah. Oh, it's iRobot. He was like,
What's that?
that was iRobot, where he was like robots, where they do the job. He said, show the robot making a chair or a piece of furniture. I think he said piece of furniture, and show a human making it. No, you show the human making the furniture, then you show the robot does it 10 times faster, and then you say whatever the name of the company. He was like, the cuss word on the little guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was like, "Oh, I take it you don't like robots." No.
No.
Right.
Which I always find that fun. Whenever there is like a robot centric future, there's always that one detective that hates robots.
It's not just it either be one or a
like a
solitary
cop.
group or something like that,
Yeah.
where everybody else is no, they're cool, they're great, and that one group is like, no, they're terrible, blah, blah. And then in the end, turns out they're right.
Yeah, they're either right or something other than, because 9 times out of 10 it always goes one of two ways, right? One, people are like, oh no, these robots, they're stealing our jobs, this, that, and the other, screw these robots. And then the robots are like, well, to be fair, y'all made us and now you're mad, so what if we just Here you go, people. Put you in cages like y'all did the other animals. All right, now we run Earth, and that's usually how 90% of them go. But there are a few where they end up both live in harmony, which is unfortunately kind of more unrealistic.
Nah, you always get it's gonna be one or the other. Either the robots are the worst or the people are the worst. Cause like in AI, that movie
I
was
don't think I've
AI.
ever seen that.
It was the one where they made the little boy, a robot of a little boy.
I've
Okay,
seen
yeah.
one where it
The
was a
people
robot of a
were
little girl and she was a murderer.
oh, that was Abigail?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, so weird too, because like I don't remember the full movie, but I saw one scene on
When she's
Instagram.
dancing before she
Yeah,
kill him.
like what? He sat there for the whole time while she.
Yeah, she all dancing up to him, and he just standing there looking. See, that be that movie stuff, because I would have been gone. I would have been
Then what I tell you,
out.
so many people in the comments was like, either A, the second they saw her start moving like that, they would have been left
Bingo.
before she even started dancing, or some people like me, I would have started dancing with her, like, hey,
Yeah.
hey.
Nope, not with the robot. Nope, and not with us just in that hallway by ourselves. Because the first thing I would have said, just like in Evolution, I've seen this movie. No, I'm out. So she, with the first pop lock in the shoulders, I would have been like, "Whoa, I'm out." She would have had to chase me down, and I'm telling you, through metal doors and through windows and all that, I would have parkoured. I ain't never parkoured a day in my life. I would have parkoured out of that building and slid down the mountain and rolled over this X-Men rolling over cars and stuff. Slid onto into a vehicle, kicked the driver out, and took off. Like, nope.
Mhm.
No, I've seen this movie. Mm-mm. Yeah, but it kills me in movies like that where people just be sitting there watching and the person be rolling up on them fast. And I'm just like, in real life, who does that? Like somebody, I remember we were at a restaurant. We were at Buffalo Wild Wings and I was sitting at the table. And so this guy, he's on the other side of the restaurant and he's walking towards me aggressively. And I'm grabbing the knife on the table, like I'm holding it. And he looks at me, he said, "No, it's cool, baby. I'm not coming after you." I was like, "Oh, well, you better say something, cause dude, I don't that didn't hey, I don't know you, you don't know me." He was walking too aggressive and it was like, yeah, like and fast. So
Whoa.
I'm just like, okay. I'm like, what's the name? Be real. When he was talking about that whole Will Smith and Chris Rock incident, he was
uh,
walking up too aggressive. He said that was my little son. I'd be like, hey,
hey, what you doing? Hey.
hey, what you need? What's up? Right. Yeah. So I'm just like, somebody walking up on me aggressive. And hey, I just be on guard. On guard.
You know,
Yeah, so I
turns
don't
you
be
to a
playing that.
duet.
Yeah, so but yeah, she the first time she started with the little pop rock, I would be like, "Yep, I'm
Mm-hmm.
out."
Nope.
Yep.
I will say, for me though, when it comes to like a lot of the purchases I make, I know like it's something I want. So regardless, it's always a good purchase. It's only whenever uh, it's only whenever I do it with a friend in mind. That's when it's no. And I stopped doing those. I stopped doing any kind of purchase where it's like, it's to help that person. Nope. And usually those would result in like whatever like video game purchases. And 9 times out of 10, it'd be like a friend going, "Hey, there's this new Pac-Man game out, and I want to play with my other friends." And I'm like, it doesn't seem that bad. I go ahead and get it. Next thing you know, that friend is. Now I'm stuck with Pac-Man. I ain't even want this. So
Right.
nowadays, anytime I got a friend like, "Hey, there's this new game out. I want to play with a friend," and I'm like, "Wow, you gonna buy it for me?" Because I'm not. Nope. Mm-mm.
Now you know what I when you say buying stuff for other people, one of my friends, he was talking about how somebody was complaining because he got them a gift card. And I'm like, and she was like, "Oh, that's lazy. You supposed to go out and pick out something individually and all this other stuff." Me, I'm not tripping. If you know I always like to get something out of a particular store, or I have a store where I'm always shopping. Let's just say Bath Body Works.
Mm-hmm.
I always get my perfume from there. So if you know this and you give me a gift card for Bath Body Works, I would prefer that than you get me perfume where it's like,
This isn't what I wear.
man, or it be something I don't know. I open it and I spray it and be like,
You know, like, hey, Devin, I got you a nice little gift card for Walmart or whatever. You know, because I know you usually get whatever products from there. Oh, okay. Instead of, here you go, Devin. Did you just get me Axe body spray? What's wrong with you? Why would you do that? Do you hate me?
yes, that I would. I'm okay with a gift card. You know, for somebody. I mean, and that to me is more thoughtful than a gift I don't like, or
You know,
that I gotta
because
now I gotta take it back.
now it's like, hey, whatever you plan to get in that location, go ahead.
You can get exactly what you want.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
because
why a lot of times whenever people be giving gifts, it's like you can never mess up money.
you can't mess up money. It's always the perfect size, the perfect fit. You
Mhm.
can never mess up money. Or what this one lady did at my job, she gave out lottery tickets. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is cool and pretty creative. So it's
Yeah.
like if you win, hey.
Hey.
And then, like for me, if I ever do like give out my friends lottery tickets or whatever, I'm not expecting anything back. If they decide to, that's cool.
Mhm.
But for the most part, yeah, I'm just, hey, let's see who wins amongst us all. Yeah,
That
team effort.
part. Yes. That would be nice.
Hmm.
I mean, me, honestly, if I give out lottery tickets and one of them is a $10 million winner, then I'm gonna be looking at you. I ain't gonna say nothing, but I'm gonna
You,
be looking at you
mm,
like, right, like,
look, I'm not expecting you to, but just remember who got you there,
right.
because you was not gonna get that ticket,
You wasn't gonna get it on
not
your
that particular
own.
one.
Yes, if it hadn't been for me, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
So, like when you go to a restaurant and you get great service, you get some gratuity. I just expect, I'm gonna say it. Yes, I would expect some gratuity. Shoot, you wasn't gonna have that if I didn't give you the ticket.
mm,
And the same thing, vice versa. If somebody gave me a $1 lottery ticket and I scratch it off and it's worth $10 million, I'm gonna give you something
yeah.
now.
Of course, I'm
Cause
not just gonna. Well, here's the $1 back. No.
I've heard of people do that too. Be like, well, hey, you gave me this, it was $1. Here's your dollar. All right, you suck.
All right, you give me nothing,
Right. That was just an
dirt
insult.
bag.
Right. You are so going to you know
HD
where.
double hockey sticks.
Right. With alcohol draws. You are going.
That's funny.
Yeah. So
But yeah, definitely, I feel you on that because I know that's how I am. Whenever someone gives me something, I like to give back double, right, to share my appreciation, and sometimes more than double. Like somebody will give me a stick of gum, I come back and give them a pack of gum.
mhm.
Or like one of my friends, I think he gave me like $12 or so. So once I get some kind of income, I'm gonna give him 24. You know, like it's some of those things because it's like it is to show that a you helped when I needed assistance. So
Mhm.
now I want to fully give back plus extra.
And I like spreading positivity.
Mm,
I really do. Like just simple stuff. Like you've done that since you were a little kid. You
mm,
always gave people compliments. You be
mm,
like, oh, I like your hair, or I like your glasses, or I like you always did that when you
yeah.
were little. And I can tell you, it being around a person like that, even if you were the scourge of the earth, some of that has gotta rub off.
I mean, it worked for the Grinch.
Yeah, I'm just saying it does. It just, I go out and I compliment people. I like to spread the positivity. And then what I did the other day, I was getting your brother some medicine because he's sick. And I bought some items at Dollar Tree, and then the change I had left over, this guy had let me get ahead of him, even though he only had like 3 items. And I'm teeter tottering to the front because I didn't get a basket. And every time I kept pulling something else, I was like, oh, we need this. Oh, I need that. Oh, so by the time I get up there, I am like boxes under my neck and I'm teeter totter. Yes. And so he was like, go ahead, go ahead. He just insisted I go ahead of him. So I was like, thank you. So I put all the stuff down and then I paid for it. And then so the cashier was joking. She said, you came in for one thing. I was like, yeah, I got that.
Of
But then all
course.
this other stuff decided to come along.
Because that's how I don't like getting a basket. It's so clunky, it's so big. I have to maneuver. I can just walk through the aisles myself, grab, and crap.
I should have at least got the Robin Hood,
You
the Red
know,
Riding Hood basket. I should at least got that one, but no, I didn't even that because I was like, I'm just gonna get the medicine. And then when I got the medicine, it was other stuff I saw, and it was like, but hey, and Dollar Tree, baby, when you see it, you better get it because if you go back, it's gone.
it's like the apocalypse every
Yeah,
time.
every time them shelves be looking like something bad happened.
Hmm.
So yeah, I just went on and grabbed everything, and the guy let me go ahead of him, so I bought my stuff. And like I said, he had about 3 or 4 items. I think he was picking up one more thing. And so my change was like $3 and something. I said, take that change and put it towards his order. And I left out.
Hmm.
Yeah, so, just spreading the positivity. Do something nice for somebody to put a smile on their face.
Yeah. Although I have seen people do that for ridiculous and sometimes just really stupid. Like there's another double meaning behind it. And it was one I don't even think it was real. I think it was like, yeah, it was definitely a skit. But it was some dude who was like, he was buying fast food in the drive thru. And while he was doing so, he was like, hey, why don't you go ahead and, I'll also pay for the guy's order behind me. He was like, oh, that's really nice of you. He was like, yeah, hopefully it catches on or whatever. And then afterwards, he got his food. He drove off, drove back around, and right when someone was about to, get in line, he was like, please let me go first. Please let me go first. I'm doing something right now. Please let me go first. Thank you. So then he's right behind the dude he just paid for, like starting the whole chain. And they're like, so before they even walk into the store, I need 100 cheeseburgers, 100 french fries, 100 apple pies, 100 hash browns. Like, that man's ordering the whole menu, like a whole bunch of stuff. And when the dude who was once behind him, he's like, oh, okay, like, oh, the guy in front of me paid, how much is the guy behind me's order? 5,000 and what are you doing? Pay it. No, I'm not doing that. Come on, man. Continue the chain. I'm not paying for that.
Who wants $5,000 at McDonald's anyway? Yeah.
I don't even know if it was McDonald's. All I know is that just was so stupid for him to pay for the dude's order just to go back around and order a bunch of crap.
Nah. See, people be doing it. They have to be a skit. Oh, yeah. I'm like, yeah. But I mean, I've had people do that for me before, and then I've done it too. Oh, what I love to do. Oh, and this one, I love this one. So you go in line, right? And then you encounter somebody that's rude to you, like the cashier is very rude. So I will go to a different cashier and let them ring me up, and then I'll tip them like, here's lunch on me. And I give them like $20. And make sure the other person see it too. Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what could have happened.
This is what could have happened to you if you just would have been nice. Yes. Yeah. I remember one time the guy was rude to me at Little Caesars. I tipped almost everybody. Anybody that touched my pizza boxes, they got a tip. Everybody but the little rude boy.
That's funny.
I even gave some people some money out in the lobby.
In the lobby.
Yeah, it was a little boy that was being real sweet to me, and he was like flirting with his little tiny self. I gave him some money too. Like, here you go, boo boo.
Yes. That's crazy.
So yeah, you never know. And that was after I got my nice little bonus from work. I had money in my pocket. Like, see there, you never know who you making mad. You just be nice. You never know what could happen.
Yeah, much like that security job I had. And again, I'm just being myself. Everybody, hey, can we get a tip for this, man? Okay.
I've had that happen when I used to waitress. I've had people often give me large tips. Biggest tip I ever got was like $300.
Oh wow.
I worked a party, and I was just being real nice. And so one of the other waitresses came over and she called herself helping me. And I was like, I'm good, I'm straight. And then she was rude to one of the people. So they was like, she can go. And they was like, we like her. Keep that one. This one right here. So, and I just kept telling them, I said, okay, so y'all large group. So it's gonna take me a minute to come back and forth to bring everybody something. I was like, y'all gonna be patient with me? And they was like, yeah, yeah, we good. I was like, thank you. And that's all I said before I got started. And
That's
then so
cool.
I just kept bringing the stuff out in groups, and people will say what they want. I was like, hold on, let me finish putting these down, and then I'm gonna write down what you say, okay? So I can make sure I get it right. And they was cool, you
You
know?
know,
Yeah.
because you like you make sure to be like, hey, I'm only one person.
Yes. And
It's
y'all
gonna
be
take me a minute. And they're
right,
like, you know
y'all.
what? Understandable. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's 30 people.
It was a lot of them. And so, and I would just keep saying, okay, look, because they got rid of the other girl. So it was two of us. Now it's one. So
Yeah.
y'all gotta work with me here. And then yeah, they was cool about it. And yeah, it worked out great. And I got a $300 tip at the end of the night. Well, the lady who was throwing the party gave me $300. Some of the other people gave me a tip as well from her party.
Mm,
So it was a real nice night that night.
good.
Yeah.
Which I mean, that's real cool because I mean, maybe a lot of people who are like so used to like people having nasty attitudes or
Us.
yeah,
We
yeah.
you get so used to the nasty attitude when you run across a nice person, you just be like, wow.
You know, you either be completely shocked or you just, huh? Hold on, I said I want an extra sauce. You okay? That's it? Uh huh. It's not gonna be like an upcharge. And you're not gonna try to throw something at me. Why would I do that,
Man,
sir?
man, yeah. When you run into them polite people, yeah, you be
Huh?
like, wait a minute, is this still in Detroit? Where am
You
I at?
know, like oh my god, yeah.
What?
When you run into actual good people, it's such a crazy thing.
It don't even be refreshing. It be startling. Like, oh my
You
God.
know,
I just cannot
and you
believe
just be
this.
waiting for like, okay, so when you gonna,
Flip out.
you know, but it never comes,
You gonna
and it's
turn to
so
Mr. Hyde?
weird. Yeah, and the crazy part is like everywhere you go, like especially in Detroit, it's always someone rude. People driving, people serving, people online, all types of stuff. So then when I run into actual genuine good human beings out on the road, out in public, online, especially I I was just overly shocked with human. Everyone was so nice, like kind of overly nice. It's a little weird,
You
but
start being suspicious,
you
like,
know, and that, shoot,
mhm.
that's how it was when one of my friends he invited all of us out to this little cafe that he always be at, and it was really nice, too nice. So I was just sitting there,
Waiting for the other shoe to drop.
and Devin, you good? Nah, nah,
Like,
it's too peaceful
yeah,
here.
it's too nice in here. What's going
Uh-uh.
on?
There's no bulletproof glass. I can see
Mm-hmm.
the floors. I ain't see a single bug in sight. It's too clean in here. And it was a Devin, you can relax. Nah, nah.
And that's a shame too. That's a shame where you just get so used to terrible service, it just becomes the norm. That is so terrible.
Hmm.
I never forget. I took y'all out to a Little Caesars in Ann Arbor, and the service was so good. Y'all was acting like y'all was on a field trip or something,
We were. It
and
was
it
a whole
just
different world.
that sincerely broke my heart. Like, oh my God, y'all so used to terrible service that you were overly excited for the good customer service. I was like, that is just tragic.
Because
It really is.
it was so many details that I noticed where it's like, that's not the Little Caesars I'm used to. Because there's like the three different ones, I think, or two different ones we usually would go to. And seeing that one in Ann Arbor blew everything out the water. Like, there was an advertisement. We don't get that. There wasn't bulletproof glass separating the customers and the workers. No, their screens worked. You know, their everything was clean. There was a fridge on our side. You know, where they trusted the customers. There
To get
wasn't
your own
locks.
beverage.
Yeah, there wasn't
Right.
locks and chains and dogs everywhere. No, it was just
It was a
it was
restaurant.
an actual establishment.
Right. Yep.
And
And
it,
then
it threw me for a loop. I was not ready. And on top of that, when you was even saying like there was like one pizza place you went to where all the boxes was just on the floor.
ugh. Yep.
I didn't even know where the boxes were. They're probably in the back in the bag.
And that was gross. I went into a restaurant to purchase food and I went in there and the boxes that they put the food in, I guess they had an overflow or something. I don't know what happened, but they had all the boxes sitting on the floor out on the side where people come in. And I was like, okay,
Mm,
yeah, cancel my order. That's
yeah.
okay.
No. Because even though, like, I don't know why people think to do this. It's like they be thinking, oh, yeah, it's convenient for me. Yeah, but who's gonna. Oh, I dropped the fork.
Ugh,
So, what did you want?
yeah.
Nothing.
I don't. If I walk into a restaurant and I see anything that I call suspicious behavior, I'm leaving. I'm gone. Like I went into a Panera Bread and in the display item area, when you first go in, they have the bread and cookies and all that stuff out front. There were gnats. Not one, not two. It was families of gnats all on the food and everything. I actually took a video of it and posted it. It was nasty. And then I even said to the young lady, I was like, nobody's concerned about these bugs out here. And she was like, no, not really. So I was like, okay. So I said, well, me thinking logically, like, well, maybe they have this stuff out front and just for display. And when you order it, they will get something out
From
of
the
the back.
back.
That was not the case.
Yeah, no, they will grab the display items.
Yeah, and I ever so politely told her that's okay, and I left. Like, I couldn't even do it because even if I tried to like pick one that didn't have bugs on it or whatever. It's just like, what does that one look like? Oh, it doesn't have any bugs on it. I'll take that. The thought of the bugs crawling on, and then
They
it
could have
was
been
that was
on
just
there.
yeah. They could have been on there previously before because I saw the pieces they was crawling all over like the top buns, but bugs don't discriminate. Like, hey, we only gonna be on this
Hey, just so you know, that one, you got 5 minutes. Let the 5 second rule. Wait a minute. We got to wait 5 seconds, everyone. It's.
one. Yeah, it was so nasty. I was like, oh wow, that was just very disgusting. It's just as disgusting like when you go in some of these other restaurants and they have bugs and not gnats either. And you just be like, and the people that work there, like it's nothing. I'm like, wow.
Just.
Yeah.
So, anywho, what did you want on your sandwich?
As we talking about it, I'm starting to get the itchy, creepy, crawly, grossed out.
Like, and then, like, what was I going to say? Because I was just so. Ah, man, I just had it. Oh,
You had a
well.
brain glitch. There's a brain glitch. All right. Anyway, until he thinks of it, we'll go on to something else. We was talking about great customer service versus bad
Yeah,
customer service.
because, man, and like, usually I know I don't really want to, do the whole serving and everything because that's a lot of walking. I don't like doing a lot of walking, contrary to popular belief. But, you know, and usually I like give the reasoning like me going, I don't like customers. No, I just don't like bad people. That's all it is. Because I don't mind customers, clearly. Because I did the security thing. People be real cool. It's just, I feel like I don't know if I will be able to be on my best behavior if I get like a really bad person. Because if I'm doing all this stuff, everybody's doing well and everything, and then at some point I get somebody, this ain't, and they start throwing a tantrum about the food, and get on my clothes.
And see, when situations like that happen, the rule is you walk away and you tell your manager. And that's it. You're supposed to just stay out of the area to de escalate. That's conflict resolution 101. And if that's something you cannot do, then customer service is not for you.
Which, in my personal opinion, I do feel like from one human to another, despite the job or where you stand, if you walk in, and a lot of people, when they be like, oh, leave home you at home when you're at work. Well, I feel like people should leave home them at home when they go out. Like you're representing yourself. So if you, a human being, is being rude to another human being that can't really do nothing back, I feel like it's justifiable for that person to be able to kick you out or something.
Well, that's what management is supposed to do. They're supposed to remove the person from the, especially if they're being belligerent and treating. You're not supposed to let your employees, even when your management is supposed to be, you're not supposed to let them get bullied, belittled, treated badly, and things of that nature. And definitely no physical contact
Mm.
at all. You never supposed to let anybody come in and put hands on your employees. And that's what management and security is supposed to be there for the
which
places that have security.
which sometimes they're not the best at that. Which,
Oh, when
but
they have, I anybody that wants to work a job, I'm cool with it. But when you have Mr. 99 years old doing security in a rough neighborhood, it's like, come on now,
why are
seriously.
you the security guard?
Exactly. I
Security,
don't
I need
feel
help.
safe.
One
Right.
minute, I'm getting there.
Right. I
And
don't
then
feel safe.
it's bad, right? When the security guard got sitting down comfortably in the chair, like, give me 1 second.
Mm-mm.
All right, what
Mm-mm.
seems to be the no? I more
Yeah.
so trust the security guards already got 1 foot off, ready to pounce at any moment, just looking mean. The ones that look like human pit bulls just look like they don't like or trust nobody. Yeah, that's the security I want.
That's funny. Yeah, but I mean, honestly though, yeah, you do need certain people for certain positions, and I'm a big fan of diversity and things of that nature, but it's some things that just cannot be handled by anybody.
Yeah.
You just it's certain things because people be like, "That's your security? Oh, we coming back here? Yeah, let me go get the boys. We'll be back in 10 minutes." Yeah,
Like
no,
not everyone can do every kind of job. There are certain people that are,
more
just
suited
more suited.
for.
And for a perfect example, let's see if you get like little Timmy. Well, I'm a security guard. Anywho, as I was
Right.
saying, like,
Right. And it don't just have to be a guy either, because I did security for a while.
oh yeah, yeah,
I'm a hefty sized girl and I always have resting mean face. So I used to do security too. And it could be man, woman, whatever.
mm,
Just you gotta be it's gotta be the right person. You gotta have the right demeanor, things of that nature. So yeah, it's not like you say, it's everybody is, it's not right for everybody. Certain things is
which
not right for everybody.
which I find it funny that apparently my demeanor was a little too right when I was working on my security thing. Because why I tell you, once I get a job, I take it very serious. Like yeah, I'll get my work done first, and then everyone gets to experience me being goofy and all that stuff. Because what else am I gonna do? Might as well make small talk. I'm gonna see
Hmm.
y'all every day. Uh, but while I was doing my security job, there wasn't really much of a off time. So I was just, when I tell you, standing up, hands like this, like just down here, just looking straight the whole time, not barely even moving a muscle. And when I tell you, at some point, one of my managers was, "Hey man, it's okay to smile." I'm like, "No, I was security. What? Why would I start cheesing?"
Right. Yeah. Yeah, but that's pretty much all of us. We our work ethic is exceptional.
Mm,
You put me on the job, that's it. You ain't even got to come back and check. Just be like, I know it's done.
Mm.
Jay's on it. It's done. You ain't gotta come back and check. I don't do the goof off. I do whatever I'm supposed to do first, and then if I got any time left over, yeah, then I'll talk or chill, relax, goofy, all that other kind.
Mm.
But just all day, every day, where's Jay? Supervisor constantly, no,
Hey, come back here. Yeah,
right, no,
especially if I'm stationary and not meant to move, then I'm stationary and I'm not moving.
right.
I may get up and walk in this small little circle, but for the most part, this is my post. And I remember there'd be times where I'd have to go to the restroom. I'm not going anywhere. And then at some point, like another higher up or manager would be like, hey man, you good? Oh, yes, actually, can I go to the restroom? I need to. How long did you have to go? For like an hour? Why ain't you come get me? I'm not moving.
Right. You told me to stay
Right
right
here.
here. Right. I
You know,
feel you.
and I even learned from a previous job, just because your ride arrives doesn't mean you're okay to go. You leave whenever your boss says you can leave, which, depending on the job, fair enough.
Hey, did you ever learn something in the past that you hated learning it? And it was just like, but then you love to do it now.
Something in the past that was just pretty much bothersome, but now it's like it's not that bad. I mean, I could say technically math, but I mean, math never really bothered me that much. What is something that I just
Well, I know for me, it was cooking.
really
Because I was a girl, I was expected to know how to cook.
that'll
I
do it.
came up with my grandmother. She was from the 30s. I think she was born in 1920, and my mother was born in 1940. So no, I got that off a little bit. But anyway, my grandma was born, I do believe, like, yeah, late 1920s. I think that is right. And my mother was born in 1940s. So that was essential. Women, you got to cook, clean. They taught me how to sew, how to iron and starch. And, man, I used to hate all that. Like, ugh. Why? And then you see the men sitting around watching the game, or like we have family gatherings. It was my job to make sure to come in the kitchen, help cook the food, set the table, keep bringing drinks back and forth to the guys while they sitting out there watching the football game. Like, I want to watch the game too. Like, oh, I used to hate all that. But then now though, I do love to cook. I love cooking. It's I hated it back then because it was a forced thing, but now I cook by choice. So all my choice cooking, I love it. I love making up or trying different spices, recipes, and all that. I love when my family be like, "Ooh, this is
Man,
oh
this is man.
yes,
Yeah.
yes."
Okay, well, I can definitely say the whole like doing all the like chivalrous gentleman things. As a kid, no, because I really did go off that rule of, well, no one else is doing it. Like, huh? Or like, guys was like, oh no, only we had to bring in the groceries, or all the heavy lifting, lift that piano, and all that stuff. And then at the same time, it's like the flip opposite. I'm bringing in the groceries. I'm seeing you and my sister just sitting down, have a nice time. What? Nah, this is stupid. So there was that, and then on top of that, there was also those few times when, as a young kid, I had to take care of other people's kids, which that immediately, I'm a teenager. Why am I doing this? Y'all parents don't get up. But now I don't mind doing the gentleman because it's part of me. I enjoy opening doors for people. I'm never gonna put my coat down on a rain puddle.
I don't know.
I pick the little person up and just
I ain't teaching
walk
that
around.
Right? No, we ain't doing that.
No,
But
no, I never understood that either. Like,
it's something that they just life according to TV.
uh, but outside of that, yeah, or just holding the umbrella for people. Um, Yeah, I don't mind that. Plus, I'm learned to be a little competitive. So instead of me moaning and groaning like I don't like bringing in all these groceries, instead, how many bags is it? Man, let me pick up all these one arm. Man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely one of those things where it's like I didn't like it at first. I felt like it was unfair and no one else was doing it. And especially upon going through school, because, of course, the females in my school were more favorable. So a lot of times they get to run around, do whatever, talk in the halls. The security guards wouldn't say nothing. If my speed increases by 0.5%, hey, no running in the halls. What? Man, I swear I'd be so mad. And it'd be so crazy. I hear the exact same two lines in order. Hurry up and get to class. No one in the halls. Which one is it? Like, you ain't saying nothing to Stacy.
Either you do or you don't. Which one is it?
So it was a lot of
Contradictory
a
rules.
lot of contradictory, a lot of double
Yeah.
standards that made no sense.
Oh,
But
that's
nowadays,
everywhere.
yeah, it's still to this day. But nowadays, I don't really, it doesn't bother me all that much. And the one thing I will say that I always find funny, I hold a door open for any kind of feminine individual. They'll say thank you, or sometimes I'm like, you know, that's new. Usually, people don't hold doors open. If I hold me, a male, hold the door open for another guy, apparently I challenged them to a duel. They'd be so mad. I never understood that. It's I have to open the door and walk in. Then that's the male
And
way to
hold it
hold it.
back.
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
Or
so
probably
they
let it
can
go so they
grab
can.
it. Yeah.
That's the guy way to open the door for another guy. But if I actually hold the door open like an usher, man, I would not. You wouldn't believe how many guys have looked at me with the most anger. What the? Close this door. And then it be my own brothers too. I open the door for them. Don't do that. What did I do? I ain't call you out your name.
Oh, that is too funny because I've heard y'all be like, "Oh, that's weird. Don't do that."
I don't get it.
I be cracking up. But yeah.
Like me and my little brother, we do it for like I'll be like, hey, which one you want? You want to sit up front? Sit in the back. I'll go up front. I'll open the door for him. He open the back door for me, and then we swap.
Oh, so sweet.
Like I don't get it.
Yeah.
Maybe once I'm older, sleeper agent neuron will activate my brain. I'll see some guy open the door, and no, I'm gonna use your cooler. Open the door for me. Probably not, but I don't get it.
That is too funny. Yes. But I mean, it be stuff all the time that y'all as boys, when y'all be like, oh, absolutely not. And I just be like, why? I mean, y'all brothers say, no, we men. I mean, I'm like, okay, I have never been a man, so I'll never know what it is. So y'all got y'all own little thing. Same thing like women. Women have stuff too. Like it'd be so funny when uh the rules, like the urinal rule, where if it's 3 urinals,
then that middle one space apart. Yeah, that's.
Oh, it was so funny when I heard that one. And I said, well, what if a third guy walked in? He was like, he waited his turn. I was dying laughing. I heard, really?
Because I know somebody asked me that question. It was like, there's 4 urinals. One guy's on one end, one guy's on the other. Which one are you going to? I'm going to the actual bathroom stall. Like, what? No. That's a sit up and a half. I'm not doing that.
That was too funny.
Shoulder to shoulder with another dude. You keep your eyes to your side.
Woo! Yeah, the urinal rule. I was too dead when I found that one out. It's so much stuff
there'll be too many guys who will just impressive. Move!
The man rule. Yes. I was dying when I found out something. With me being in a house with 4 boys and they growing up from boys to men, it was a lot of man rules that I found out about that I did not even know exist. And when I tell you it's hilarious, any single mother out there, or you ain't gotta be a single mother. If you live in a house, your husband and some boys, if you the only woman in there, you know exactly what I'm talking about
You
then.
know,
And when the men outnumber and they come to you and just, especially if you got, like with my kids, we always had that open, honest relationship. Anything you got going on, come talk to me.
mhm.
I always made them feel comfortable enough where they would come talk to me about anything. So woo, you get some stuff that you wasn't ready for when your boys come to you be like, hey mom, so this right here, I'll be like,
So I got this problem.
whoa.
Oh,
Like,
is this supposed to be a bush?
ah, I'll be like,
Whoa!
whoa. And it'll be y'all would say some
Like,
stuff, and
man,
I'll be
cover.
like,
Can
that's
you
a
cover
thing?
yourself?
Like, oh my God. No, it wouldn't even be that where you just be showing me stuff, but it just be like y'all would tell me stuff. And I'd be like, that's a thing? Like, oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know. And yes, y'all have lots of issues that I
yeah.
didn't even know existed. But yeah, I
Like,
found out a lot.
and then there'll be so many different things where it's like, I don't know who, when designing humans, thought, okay, so here's how we're gonna separate them. The ladies will have all their organs inside their body. The guys will have an organ outside their body. Why? I don't know. I think it'll be funny. Like, cause why would you do that?
And the most sensitive
The
organ
yes,
and on the whole body, like
right
ooh.
there next to the brain. Like, why would you do such a thing? Cause there'll be so many times, and I tell you, dodgeball is a fun and terrifying sport.
For guys.
Yes, because well, anything where there's a throwable object, fun yet terrifying. Because on one end, you get to show off your strength, or be whatever competitive. At the same time, for all those peers I grew up with who played dodgeball like you was trying to win a championship, I don't like you. All right, I'm gonna come out and say, and you know which ones you are. The ones who throw the dodgeball, it fly past my head, and I hear boom behind
Oh,
me. Whoever was throwing
yeah.
those nuclear shots, I don't like you
Yes.
because one of those people threw one. I thought I was dodging out the way. It curved midair and hit me right near my inner thigh. I fell because that sent a
Vibration.
shockwave. And no, I thought he got me. So I fell. They paused the game. They were like, Devin, you good? Is he all right? I couldn't stand up. My legs didn't work no more. They were detached from my body. So while curling up and covering myself with one hand, I had to crawl my way to the outer part of the match.
Wow.
And then they proceeded.
That's crazy. But yeah, I mean it. Yes, I learned a lot
You know who you
from
are.
being in a house with a lot of men. I definitely learned a lot. The re-education of Mama J. Yes.
And I mean, I learned quite a bit too, because there'll be a lot of things that you don't know when it comes to the opposite side of the genders, because some parts you don't have. Like, I don't know why I thought this for the longest, right? But I always thought like your heart was like right in this area. So as a guy, I'm like, oh yeah, mine's is inward because I don't have chesticles. That's what I tend to call them because that's a sensitive part of the body too. Yeah. I thought females' hearts were in one of them, and I'm like, that's odd. That's what I thought for a minute. I don't know what made me think that, but
Lord, inside your boob. That's where your heart is. That's funny. Woo, man, that makes take getting a punch. That gives a whole nother right.
she'd
Yeah,
fall over.
man, that gives you a whole nother aspect. Yeah, but no, yeah. So yeah, you do learn a lot of stuff as you get older about the opposite genders. Yes. And then as I get older, when I grew up, when I was born, there were only two genders. Now we got multiples.
Mm,
It's multiple genders out there now. So it's like, it's a cool thing. As you get older and as time goes, you just learn more. You
mm.
get introduced to new concepts and new ideas.
Which I will say with that, I did. At first was like, okay, it's a little alright, but upon growing up more, I'm like, you know what, whatever helps out or helps people fully identify themselves, because you know, hey, it's always nice to fully understand yourself. And if you don't feel like you fit in either category, but you fit somewhere down the middle on the outer edges, hey, that's just where it is. Because some people don't live in a natural state, they live on the outer edges. There's probably someone right now on the actual equator. So, hey,
I like being outside the box.
mm,
I purposely stay on the outside of the box because I don't know. Inside the box seem a little boring to me.
yeah. Or you find a box inside the box.
Yeah.
Mm,
Something that's different. I like to be different. As long as it's something different. I don't care. Just no. I hate the word normal. Oh, you're so normal. Like,
ugh, gross.
cringe. Right. Like, I want to stay far, whatever normal is, I want to be all the way on the other side of it. I don't want to be nowhere close to whatever normal is supposed to be. Because to me, normal is extremely, extremely boring.
Indeed. And I will say, uh, I do really love the fun little community that's come out of it. I have a lot of friends that are part of it. Beautiful thing. I will say, what every time I hear like a new like bisexual, trisexual, all those different versions, there was one that I heard where I just had to go, wait a minute, that's huh? And it was one that I think it was like in the Urban Dictionary called semi bisexual. And it was like some, okay, what's that? And I read it. It was like some when one person is attracted to just like one of the like standard genders. And I was like, wait, but that's
Nope.
huh?
Don't even try to define it. If you're not in that community, don't even speak on it.
Technically.
No. If you're not in that community, if you're not, I mean, yeah, we in it, but I
Yeah.
mean, if you're not participating in it, then I feel like you can't comment on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Like
I don't
like
think,
our fun little phrase that me and all my other siblings used to say, like, you all up in the Kool-Aid, don't even know the flavor.
yeah, if you're not participating in the community, then I don't feel you have the right to comment on the community. So, people who, well, I got friends that don't mean
Which,
nothing.
yeah, for those
Yeah.
who always, I got friends of that.
Nope,
Yeah,
nope,
but are you
nope.
like with them?
Yeah. So
Just
if
because
you're,
you know,
yeah, that's nope. That's like reading a book on how to fly, then talking about you a master pilot. Nope.
or just, I got money, that means I'm rich. No.
No, right. So no, unless you're actually participating in that said community, that group, whatever it is, then no, you can't sit and you can't give your opinion of what you think of what that. Nope, I don't think you should be able to do
Yeah. But yeah.
that.
Because I was about to, well, some things, but still, yeah. Because, I mean, there are a lot of different communities where I feel like, you don't need to be part of it in order to, because
No, I definitely think
it's the scary
definitely
ghost people.
no, you definitely have to be part in order to comment on because other than that you don't get a full understanding and a full immersement into it to be
Yeah,
able to comment on it. So
yeah.
I feel
Which
anybody
will
that's
lead to ignorance or something foolish going
yeah,
out. Yeah,
yeah.
which never looks good on a person.
No, doesn't look good on a person. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But with that being said, we're going to wrap up this episode for right now. Thank you for coming out. And thank you for liking, commenting, and sharing. Continue to do so.
Yes.
Have other things for us to talk about if you want to know our thoughts on it. This has been your host, whatever name I'm about to go by. I mean, I've been answering to Devin this whole time, so
Just stick with that.
you know,
It's Devin and Mama J.
yep.
Mama J.
And this has been Box of Topics because you never know what you're gonna get.
Woohoo! All right.
Oh man.